It's
Action Jackson.
The 10th. It's the 10th of April. It's wonderful. I think it's Hitler's birthday.
10th of April?
No, it's somewhere in April.
I thought we were August, because it's Combat 18, isn't it? I thought we were August 1st.
No.
Or is it Adolf Hitler, AH, isn't it?
Yeah, no, that's different. No, I know what you mean, that's different. No, Hitler's birthday is in April somewhere because my aunt's birthday is April. And my dad used to say, well, happy birthday Hitler, and then it was his sister. That was a running gag. It's not very funny now, but it is the 10th of April. It's 26 degrees today.
Is that what it was today?
It was 26 degrees. In Amsterdam, it was 7.
And in Bradford, the snow's just thawed.
Yeah.
Now, I was talking to Sophia about this because Sophia's getting up and going running in the morning because she's just turned 11 and she's...
In the morning?
Yeah, she's worrying about getting fat and all this sort of shit already.
How old is she?
11, just gone 11.
And worried about
a couple of weeks ago.
Being fat?
She's got the scales out.
Oh,
so
that's young.
Yeah, and I'm having to say, well, you don't need to be thinking about losing weight. You've got to put it on until you get to at least 16.
I said 18.
18.
Girls grow until 18. Yeah. Guys grow until 20, or is it the other way around?
So a mate comes down because a mate lives up on hill. A mate comes down to our house on a school day.
The hill.
About 7:10. Right. They go running for 20 minutes.
Oh, nice
and then they come home and then they get ready and go to school. But this morning she got up and off she went for a walk at 7 o'clock. And when she came back, I said, right, let's 7:30. I said, get on bike. So we cycled out to that park, with the Zushi Kaisei statue.
Nice, yeah.
Cycled out there, and it was glorious around 7, 8 o'clock.
Fantastic.
And then we cycled back because I showed her where you lived because they're going to come on the bikes today.
Yeah, I just mentioned the park.
Yeah.
Because it's quite hard to find.
No, I showed Sophia where it was. So, what do you know that gate at the back? Does that gate open all the time?
No.
Right. So I said if that.
Oh no, I mean it's open, but it's not open.
But that little gate.
Yeah, that does open all the time.
So she's going to go through there, and if not, she'll go around the other side. But yeah, she's worrying about all this getting fat and shit.
Well, that's the modern society for, isn't it? That's exactly the pressure from magazines, from TV, from all these Instagram people, the beautiful people from the Evening Institute. They all look like they're having had food in a couple of months. And young people are impressed by that.
But I'm glad that...
11, 11, right?
Just gone, same. I went 51, she went 11.
Wow.
But I'm glad that I'm her dad now and not 20, 25 years ago, because I was just rampant with the junk food. She'd have been a fat one then. So she sees what I do exercise-wise, and I think it might be catching on, but I said to her with the scales, you need to keep off them fucking things.
Well, I mean, it's good to be healthy, but yeah, it's taking a piss if you do that at 11 for your weight-wise.
Yeah, so I'm going to have to, I don't know, I'm going to have to try and...
I mean, so many kids get fatter or thinner around 18, 19 naturally.
Yeah. Now, have you seen my... You might be able to see this on camera, but my attire. You see that?
I thought you'd be embarrassed about it. But
No. Let me tell you that. I had a wedding today, and...
You didn't wear that at the wedding, did you?
No. I had issues at the wedding because the bride were pregnant. And any time I've got summer on, we were talking off mic before when you said your Tuesdays have got to be, the train's got to be on time, otherwise it fucks everything up. Well, yesterday and today, I've had something to do after my weddings, and they've always been late. All three of them were late by about a quarter of an hour, and this one were late by a quarter of an hour. And it wasn't late because she was pregnant. She was very pregnant.
How many months?
She was ready to pop, I think.
11?
11 months.
Hang on. No, I know the Japanese add an extra month from us, so they say 10 months is the last month.
But I was told if things start happening during ceremony, just crack on and get it finished quick.
If she gives birth during the ceremony?
Well, there's some companies I've worked for, and they've got a page that says if the bride is heavily pregnant and she starts going into labour, get the ceremony done and get them out. It's not stop it. It's just,
because the child is a bastard.
Fire through it all, otherwise we don't get paid.
Oh, I see. Yeah. I thought the child would be illegitimate.
Yeah. So I ran home. I cycled home. I got just grabbed a t-shirt. I thought I'd picked up that green Rolling Stones one. I put it on, and off a sack, I thought, this is fucking big. Anyway, this is the t-shirt I bought in 2002, and I was 17 and a half stone.
How many kilos is that?
113.
113?
113.
God, you're bigger than I have ever been.
Yeah, well,
it beats me.
Look at it. I mean, you could get in here with me. Look at that.
Should we try?
Right. So, Cambodia were the second Asian country I went to. I've been in Thailand, and being that fat, obviously you're going to sweat, aren't you? And being in Asia, because it's like a sauna.
Yeah.
You're just sweating all the time.
You're dropping it.
So I went overland to over to Cambodia, and then I were in Siem Reap, so Angkor Wat, and then I got on scales down in Phnom Penh, where they got this t-shirt from, and I dropped 3/4 of a stone already. So 3/4 of a stone, £9.
I think you're losing me.
Well, it's
in all kinds of ways.
£9 I'd lost in 3 weeks, just through being in that. I were eating good food. I wasn't eating shit. You know, when you're in a sauna, you've got no appetite, have you? So the weight was just falling off me. Anyway, one day I thought, fuck it, let's go day drinking. So we went here, Tom's Irish pub, Phnom Penh, Cambodia. Now,
still exists?
I don't know if this was 2002. So this is 20 years ago.
Burned down.
This is probably around the same time of year I was there. So 20 years ago, I was in this pub in Tom's Irish bar. Now,
were you in Nam?
Cambodia.
Okay, you're close to being in Nam.
Now, knowing Tom and knowing his Irish bar, can you've never met Tom, but can you describe Tom to me, and I'll tell you how far off you are.
Well, Tom, softcock Tom.
No. This is just now. I'll give you a hint. Unlike most Irish bars, Tom was Irish, right? Tom was Irish, and he'd opened a bar in Phnom Penh.
Right.
What kind of fella do you think you are?
A drinker.
Obviously a drinker. How old would you say?
Mid-40s?
Late to mid-50s.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, old Tom had been living somewhere in Ireland. He'd gone over on holiday to Thailand, flown back, sold everything. Gone back to Thailand, and he'd obviously fallen in with expats, and the expats said, oh, it's fucking cheaper in Cambodia. So he came over to Cambodia, and he was just throwing it in anything, you know, because the Kaima women are beautiful women.
Throwing it in? I've never heard that expression before. I'm trying to gather my mind here.
He was slinging a mix into everything.
Right, okay, yeah, gotcha.
Right, so he decided to open his own bar.
Right.
So he's got this Irish bar, and these waitresses in this Irish bar were absolutely stunning. And then he's got his Cambodian wife, who were rough. He'd married the rough one, but he'd got all these beautiful waitresses. And Tom was just there with a fag end at the bar, you know, he's day drinking as well. So I went in there, day drank, and for some reason, when you're losing weight at the start, when you're really fat, all the shit comes out of your face.
Yeah.
And I'd go out and I'd stink. So I just bought this t-shirt. Anyway, we sat down day drinking, and then some other fellas came in, and they just went, oh, day drinkers? And I went, yeah, and he sat down, and these were from the south, these two fellas were from the south of England. So I sat down drinking, and Tom left. And then this waitress came over and said to him, you need to apologise to Tom, just under her breath. And she left the drinks. Now, apparently, this fella, he said, oh, I need to go see Tom. And he went into the back room, opened the door, and Tom is banging this waitress off at barrels, right? He's like, get the fuck out or I'll have you done. So he leaves. So, yeah, Tom had set up his own knocking shop in this Irish bar. So he came back in, and this fella were apologising. He said, don't ever do that again or I'll fucking kill you. So I don't know if he were ex-IRA or something like that, but he had no qualms about sticking a knife in his throat. And he just walked him back. And old Tom's 10 at dozen on top of this waitress. This waitress was stunning. But you think you're in your late to mid-50s, 20 years ago, you've opened a bar in Phnom Penh, you're fucking balling like Branson, aren't you? You are Top Gun out there.
Well, It doesn't have to be.
But I mean, have you been to Cambodia?
No.
I don't know what it's like now. I will go back again just to see how much it's changed. But 20 years ago, I've never been to such a poverty-stricken country in my entire life. Are you looking up for it?
Yeah, I think.
Tom's Irish Bar.
Is it Tom's Bar? Rest in peace.
Tom's Irish Pub. Sorry, Tom's Irish Pub, sorry.
I think... No, I think he's gone.
Is he gone?
Yeah.
Well, I'm not surprised because the way we're putting it back, and obviously from stories I'm hearing, the amount it was sticking it into waitresses, and probably the way some of those Southeast Asian women are, if you cross them. I used to work with a couple from Canada in Spain, and they'd been working in Vietnam for years and years, and they worked with this young fella, and he'd got married and had a kid with this Vietnamese woman. And he kept coming to work. He'd go and meet the parents at the weekend, and he'd come to work every Monday, and he'd be sick. He'd just be feeling sick all the time. And it was every Monday. So he went to doctors, and the fucking parents had been poisoning him.
What?
Yeah. The parents, obviously, is working for this company in Vietnam, and he's making 2x, 3 times the wage of a normal Vietnamese person. And they're thinking, right, let's get this fucker. We'll kill him, and then we'll be able to get his hands on his money. So they were poisoning him.
That's horrible.
Yeah. And I didn't get the whole story, but I'm not sure if the wife were in on it as well.
Yeah. Now you hear these weird tales from the Mystic East.
Yeah.
But some are not beautiful. Yeah. I mean, the majority is fantastic, to be honest. But you do hear the nasty stories. You don't hear much of the good stories, which are most of them. Well, that's enlightened me. Tom's Pub.
Tom's Irish Pub. But I mean, you must have been, back in my day when I was drinking and the drinking you used to do, you see these fellas that have just opened up these bars in the middle of a city that you didn't think would have any foreigners in.
Mm. Yeah, you go to some pretty out of the way places, and you find an Irish pub with an Irishman usually.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's such a common sight, right? So every tourist will go, okay, well that's a safe little place.
Yeah,
I can rest on my.
It did serve a good pint of Guinness, though. Saying that in the heat of Phnom Penh in March, and it was pushing 50 degrees. Wow. It was so humid that I was just sweating constantly, soaked to the skin.
Well, that's the tropics constantly. For you.
But I'd never been to the tropics before, and with it being my second country, Jesus, I sweat.
Well, from what I was reading, it's gone through so many stages now. It's much more advanced with so many things. So I'm sure prices and land and buildings and hotels, it's all become much more like Thailand.
Well, Siem Reap, where Angkor Wat were just this shanty town with a few hostels and guest houses, no big hotels. And then Aya went 3 years ago. And she said it's just hotel after hotel after hotel.
Yeah. I met somebody in the pub the other day. They used to go for about 30 years. They used to go down to the south on the coast.
Yeah.
I can't remember the name. It's a famous place on the coast.
Battambang, I think.
Sacaville?
Snookerville,
yeah.
Something like that, yeah.
And they were bitching for about half an hour about how this place has changed. It's become a very... modern but very rough, and there's unemployment, and there's killings, and yeah.
So has it all gone to shit now?
Yeah, that used to be a laid back sort of fisherman's town with all kinds of, there's a bit of drugs going on, a nice party scene, and that's became very industrialized and a really rough place now apparently. But yeah, I've never been to the whole country, so I don't know.
When I went to Burma, all the buses drop you off at the government hotels, and I just used to get my bag and wander off and just stay, because the people will come out and say, come and stay with me. So you stay in their bedroom, one of their bedrooms, and just give them the money. But I don't know, I can't see that going to you can't see Burma going to the shit, because they just crack down on the stuff, don't they?
Well, that's another story of Burma. I have no idea. I haven't heard anything about Burma recently.
Well, I went 2007, and you had to fly in. You couldn't go in overland, you had to fly in. It was glorious. It was a glorious month I had it there. By myself, doing wherever I wanted. It was fantastic. But I don't know what it would be like now.
Well, who knows, that place.
So the last time I spoke to... Do you mean 24th a March the last time we did this.
Wow. Time
I
goes
went
pretty quick.
No, I went down to Shizuoka for Sophia's birthday, and while I were down there on my birthday, because they went shopping, I said, oh, fuck that, I'll do what I do on my birthday, I'll just let you do your thing and I'll piss off on my own. And I made that film about Shizenji, you see it?
Oh, yeah.
Right? And while I were doing that, you sent me that thing about Will Smith, didn't you?
Oh, yeah.
Because we haven't seen each other since that.
Yeah.
So let's unpack that shit. Keep your wife's name out of your fucking mouth. Now, are you on the Will side or the Chris Rock side?
Neither. What's Chris Rock's side? He hasn't done anything.
Well, that's it. So you've got to pick a side.
Well, I mean, obviously this man's... I mean, I don't understand how he wasn't arrested. If that would have happened in...
Because it's Will Smith. Why
he's assaulting someone.
Why didn't he at least get kicked out?
But so they did say he was asked to leave and he refused.
But then you just stop the ceremony, don't you?
Well, this is where this is kind of new territory.
Where the rubber hits the road.
Yeah, you're not really prepared for this kind of situation. It's the highlight of the year for these people. That the fact that happens that's pretty rare.
Well, nobody. Can you name who won the best actress?
No, I don't even know who was the best. Somebody asked me who was the best actor.
Yeah,
I don't know. And then of course it's Will Smith because he picked it up. But I couldn't. I was so beyond knowing anything except for that incident.
Mm.
Yeah.
But she seems. This is my 10 cents. Is it Kent Brockman from The Simpsons? Who's the newsreader?
I don't know.
My 10 cents he uses.
Oh,
So
yeah.
here's my tuppence halfpenny, right? He's more successful than her.
Yeah.
Wildly more successful, isn't he?
All right.
Than her. I think she's very pissed off about that.
But didn't they divorce for a while? And they were separated for a while, and then they came back.
They've got an open marriage, and she's been shitting in his mouth for years and years and years.
Why stay with her then?
Well, this is the thing. They've got an open marriage, so he's banging away, she's banging away. He's keeping it secret, but she's spreading the word as if it's fucking Christianity. That fella that she were banging, that fell in love with her, and then he went to papers.
Yeah.
Right. The story was they were on a family holiday. They were on a family holiday in Hawaii. Kids, Will and his wife, and she flies him over during a family holiday and just went, all right, I'll see you in a day or two, and went to another hotel and banged him for a couple of days. Charming. And then came back, and he's like, what the fuck's going on?
Yeah.
But you think, whenever Fresh Prince started, 94, so that's over 30 years ago.
Yeah.
Fresh Prince. And he married her around mid-90s, didn't he?
I suppose so, yeah, roughly, yeah.
And his career has gone like this, and she's been in Matrix?
Yeah, hasn't done very much. Yeah, she pops up occasionally, but not big stuff, no.
So I think that's one point about it. I mean, he were laughing when he said that joke, wasn't he?
He was, yeah. The shot is of him laughing. She isn't.
But I'd like to see, because it shows you the shot of him laughing, and then he's up and he's twatting Chris. But I'd like to see the shot where he's laughing, and then you don't see the shot where he looks, do you? And looks back. You don't see that.
No, I haven't seen that. No.
I'd like to see what happened there.
Well, he's obviously looking at her, and she's not happy.
But it's not a disease, is it?
No.
Your hair's and if you didn't know that she's got alopecia, and the clips that they were showing that she's on YouTube saying, "No, it don't bother me.
Mm-hmm.
It don't bother me," and he's made a joke about comparing her to G.I. Jane, which is a woman being a kick-ass in Marines.
Yeah.
So what's the fucking problem?
And it's not even a great joke. It's a little throwaway line.
Yeah. Of
a comedian, he's not poking fun severely at her. Yeah.
But when you think comedians seem to be on the lowest rung of the ladder,
there's a lot of comedians that are good actors.
Yeah, certainly.
But can you name an actor that's a good comedian? There's none that go other way, is there?
There's got to be a couple.
I've been racking my brains, and I cannot think of one actor that has gone into comedy.
I mean, they can act comedy. I've seen actors doing.
But stand-up, Chris Rock's a stand-up.
Yeah.
I mean, did you see? And Chris Rock in 1991. Did you see him in New Jack City?
Yeah.
I saw that. He was fantastic in that, wasn't he?
That was good.
Pookie. He was that crackhead, wasn't he? And and there were some big hitters in that film. Wesley Snipes, Ice-T.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he was fantastic in that film.
Well, I don't remember that much. I remember in Lethal Weapon. He was in the...
Chris Rock?
Yeah, he was in one of the Lethal Weapons. Yeah, 3. Because I used to work at a cinema and I had to tear the tickets.
Yeah.
And I must have seen Lethal Weapon 3 100 times, or maybe 200 times. And that Chris Rock, he's in there.
Is it the South African one?
No, they're in Chinatown.
I can't remember. So the
Jet Li is in the same one. Jet Li.
What's the first one?
I don't know.
The second one must be the Patsy Kensit in South Africa.
You should put the same film.
Joe
Lethal
Pesci.
Weapon.
Joe Pesci.
Yeah. He's in it.
That's the South African one, isn't it?
Is it?
Yeah.
I can't remember that. No, but Joe Pesci is in a couple of them. It's Jet Li because he's the big star at the time, and he's in the film.
I can't remember the third one.
Yeah, he's getting a general out or something, or a criminal boss, whatever. But yeah, Chris Rock, I like it. I like his stand-up very much. Good character. But why Will Smith wasn't arrested, I don't know.
But to think you can get away with that, and why is nobody? Because he's such a big hitter. If you were on stage and somebody twatted you, if I were your friend, I'd be running up and pushing him to the ground or something. But you can't.
I think it's just total shock.
Why ain't nobody standing up and saying, "What the fuck are you doing?"
Yeah, I think it's shock. It's just shock value. And he slapped. He didn't punch him. It's a slap. That is. I'm not defending Will Smith, but it's not a punch in the face.
You only knew it were a slap after you'd watched it.
Yeah.
And it was slowed down.
Yeah. Great stuff. I gotta say, it's brought all the attention back on the Oscars.
Well, nobody's thinking about Ukraine anymore, are they?
Well, Jim Carrey said if that happened to me, I would have sued him for $200 million right away off the bat and press charges. And I don't know why Chris Rock isn't pressing charges.
Because he's mates with him. It's his mate. You see.
So what? You don't do that at that moment. What kind of mate are you?
But look at Will Smith. The last 30 years, he has spent 30 years being the most likeable person in Hollywood, hasn't he?
Yeah, certainly. Yeah.
Everybody loved him. Nobody really. I can't remember anybody having a bad word.
No. He was always the funny, cheeky.
Until this Jada Smith thing kicked up, where she's going on about her open relationship. And stuff.
I remember she was banging some rapper or something.
Well, I think that's the
Is that the guy?
Yeah. But ever since that started, it just seems to be the pressure's been ratcheting up. And now Will Smith had that Red Table interview where they're talking about it, and he's in tears, talking about the open relationship.
Oh, I didn't see that.
And then he seems to want to put everything on film. Remember when he banged on 20 kilos during the pandemic, didn't he? And he made a Netflix special out of it.
Oh yeah, I saw that. And working out again. Yeah.
Who gives a fuck about that?
Yeah. But yeah, he's got the character. I mean, the world sees him as this lovable, funny.
And he's ruined it.
Like that,
in 1 second, he's ruined it.
Well, let's not jump the gun that quick. Hollywood does forgive.
Well, he can't go to Oscars for 10 years now, can he?
Oh, that doesn't mean that much.
I bet he's quite chuffed about that.
Yeah.
But with Chris Rock being so small and tiny, do you think he wouldn't have done that to fucking Jason Momoa, would he?
Well, the Rock.
Yeah, he wouldn't have done that to the Rock.
Yeah, the other Rock. No, it wouldn't have. No, Chris is tiny. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's just a big fella picking on a small.
Well, it's assault, so there's no question about it, and I don't know why that hasn't been addressed. In America, I think you have to press charges for someone to be arrested.
Yeah, well, the police came to Chris Rock because Chris, in this Academy Awards, you do your bit and you fuck off because it's boring. The rest of the time, it's completely boring because he were giving out the award for best documentary, wasn't he?
Yeah.
So he does it and he goes and he might go to a party or he'll go back to his hotel. But he went back to the hotel and the police came and he said, "Oh no, just let it go."
Well, he could still press charges later, any time.
He can, but he says he's not gonna.
But in England, and I'm pretty sure in Holland, you don't have to press charges for this for the police to take action. They'll take action because it's happened.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a weird thing in America about that point.
But you think that the love throwing people in jail and suing people, you'd think
black people.
You'd think the police.
Yeah.
But the Americans were going on about, why does everybody else get to see this live and it's on a 10-second delay in America, so nobody saw what went on. So it came up, he twatted him, and then it went off to a commercial break, and it come back on, and Amy Schumer's there saying, "Oh, there seems to be a change in atmosphere in the room," and so the America didn't know what happened.
But no one watches that. It's the lowest view. Every year, it's less and less people watching. It's not a high viewing thing. But the internet exploded as soon as it happened.
But the equivalent. So I say at the BAFTAs. Can you imagine Richard E. Grant getting up and twatting Hugh Grant?
I wish he would. Yeah, no, but that's a good example. Hugh Grant, who was caught picking up that hooker on Hollywood Boulevard.
Yeah.
Divine Brown.
And
Hollywood forgave all that. It was sort of water under the bridge, and he didn't talk about it for a while, and then he came back, and his career was fine. And I agree with that. It doesn't really matter. So they do forgive in America.
But if he stood up and twatted Ricky Gervais, that would be the equivalent, wouldn't it?
Mm.
Now, Ricky Gervais...
You'd be arrested, there's no doubt about it.
They were saying with Ricky Gervais, get him to do the Oscars, and Ricky Gervais said, "I'll do the Golden Globes because the Golden Globes let me say whatever I want. They don't censor me." And he was asked to do the Oscars, and he wrote out all this, and it was just read... No, there's no fucking way. There's no way, because he's just going up there to take the piss.
Oh, yeah, heavily. I mean, the Yanks loved it.
Yeah.
It was very popular. He did that like 5 times.
I mean, the Golden Globes, who's going to watch them? And then when Ricky Gervais went up that first time and just took the piss, that's what everybody's going up to watch.
Yeah. I didn't know the Oscars asked him to do it as well.
The Oscars have asked him to do it, and Ricky Gervais went on Twitter and said that they censored me. They censor you, so you can't. I mean, they do rehearsals. They do this, they do that, they do the other. So if they had kicked Will Smith out, all the ceremony would have gone to shit. So it's like a production.
Yeah.
Like the Golden Globes, it's just like, right, in, out.
Yeah. I mean, it is a highlight. It's a higher level where they all feel, look at me moments. But, yeah. If Chris Rock had retaliated and punched or they got into like a little bit of a struggle. Yeah, he tackled him on the way back. That would have been excellent. Just a very like a drunk fight, terrible fight.
But I mean, he hit him and he just walked away, and he had the look as nobody's gonna do up to me.
No, I think he realised, oh damn it, what have I done?
And then I don't know where that black woman was from that was sat at his table. I don't know what she's famous for. I've seen her in some stuff, but I can't remember.
Oh, the one behind him?
Yeah. She's just looking at him going... She give the real reaction.
Well, again, you're right. What is the real reaction? Is this a bit? Is it a fake? Is that set up? And it could have been until he says the word fuck, because that's a big no-no. You can shoot 10 people in a fake performance, but say the word fuck and you're crossing boundaries. But I thought it was real, fake, until he said the word fuck. Yeah, and I think the woman behind him as well, she's sort of, hang on.
Yeah. I mean, how would you react to it? And then Bradley Cooper were up on it in Denzel Washington, and he sort of stood there. This is before he collected Oscar. You see photos of him, he's just stood there straight, and Bradley Cooper's just saying something to him. I'm like, well, what do you fucking say?
Well, you've shot yourself in the foot.
Yeah.
Both feet.
Yeah. With
a cannon. Yeah, so you think he'll come back after this?
I don't know.
I'm sure he will.
I mean, what do you do?
There'll be quite a few. It'll be forever. You can't.
The memes.
Yeah.
That they'll haunt him to his dying day. All the stuff that is done.
Yeah.
But all the stuff that is done. Can you really name? Can you really name a Will Smith film that you've watched and gone, fuck, that's good acting?
No.
There's none, is there?
No. No, I don't mind Will Smith at all. He's alright. He's not bad, but he's not great either.
No.
Mediocre.
But going back to the comedian going to actors, I mean, some of that... Adam Sandler. He's not just done comedy roles. Some of the stuff he's done is absolutely fantastic. You see that Uncut Gems?
Yeah, that was
the
good.
The fucking anxiety I had watching that. Do you remember?
He's made some shit as well.
Oh, he's made some shit, but that Uncut Gems where it's just... And you think he'd just do the right thing once. And he just keeps doing the wrong things. And then he's throwing the money from window to window, isn't he? Because the collectors are outside. You're like, what the fuck are you doing? I had to watch it in 2 goes, because the anxiety were building up inside me.
Yeah, I think because he gets all his people, his friends to go to Hawaii and make a film there. But that's very hit and miss, Adam Sandler. I've seen so many. He did a deal with Netflix. He has to make something like 20 films within 3 years.
Yeah,
and
he's got to do 5 in 3 years.
Or something like that. Yeah.
But
imagine the quality of that.
He's got loads of money to do it, though, hasn't he?
Yeah, they give him a carte blanche, but still, imagine the quality of some of those films.
He did a film in 2007 that stuck with me, and Rain Over Me. Did you see that one?
Oh, no, it doesn't ring bells.
It's him and Don Cheadle. And his family had been wiped out in 9/11. They were on one of the planes, and he's just lost it. And, he's remodelling his kitchen constantly. He's constantly remodelling his kitchen because the last conversation he had with his wife were talking about kitchen. And he's just, does it fucking matter? Does it matter? I'll see you when you get back. Put the phone down. And the kids wiped out. And it is fantastic.
All right, that sounds a good premise.
It really, really is a good film. And it went nowhere in box office. But it stuck with me for a long time, did that film.
Well, a lot of his films they've won awards for the Razzle ones, so the worst actor, the worst this, the worst that. He did a film with Al Pacino called Jill and Julie or something, and he plays his sister as well. So he plays the female part. Imagine the hilarity that can come from that.
I've not seen that.
Well, don't. But Al Pacino is in it, and he's got a big part. And there are some funny bits in it, but you just think, well, they're just having fun. You're not making a film here. You're just making this endless string of jokes.
Outwit lads.
Yeah. It's obviously something that's been produced on a night out. Let's write some ideas down.
Yeah.
And that's it.
The first movie I saw Adam Sandler in that I can remember is Happy Gilmore.
Yeah, that was great. It was very nice. I liked that. That was very original and funny and good stuff.
Apollo Creed were in that, wasn't he? You remember with that golf with Paul
yeah. And that Quizmaster.
Quizmaster.
Well, in America they have this very famous. It's not Jeopardy. It's one of the, or maybe it was Jeopardy.
Yeah.
Or Wheel of Fortune, or one of those things that's every day for 40 years, and he was in it. He's the one that fights. They fight together, punches him in the face, and
wins that green. Yeah, it's the green jacket thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah, those comedians that go other way, but the actors don't go that way, do they?
Well, I suppose. Well, why would you? You're making that money.
Yeah. And I suppose
Tom Cruise did that Tropic Thunder. That was quite good. But again, he's playing the part.
Yeah. When Tom Cruise is on Parkinson with Billy Connolly, and he's just in the shade of Billy Connolly.
Yeah. I saw that one. That was after the
Last Samurai.
Last Samurai. Yeah.
It's fucking. I mean, you don't even know. Tom Cruise is there. You're not thinking, fucking Billy Connolly just stole that show.
Well, he always does. He's the centre of attention.
Yeah.
But he's mad. Not mad. No. He's got dementia. Well, Alzheimer's.
No, Parkinson's.
Oh, is he?
Bruce Willis has got dementia.
Yeah, that's it.
But I've just finished Billy Connolly's book, and he's down in Florida Keys, seeing his last days out down there.
Is he?
Yeah.
With Pamela Stevenson.
Because the weather is, apparently for people with Parkinson's, the weather is very becoming. If you've got Parkinson's, it's the humidity.
Is Florida. Oh, is it?
Yeah. But he's saying, I'm having to board up the fucking windows every 2 minutes because there's hurricanes hitting all the time, and then they fly him out to LA, to his mansion in LA.
I think Sean Connery saw out his last days not a million miles away from that.
He was in the Caribbean, wasn't he?
Yeah, Barbados or one of those.
When Billy Connolly gave Sean Connery's Lifetime Award.
Yeah, I saw that as well. Yeah.
And it's said, I didn't. I wouldn't listen. I had the short version. You know, well done, Baldy. I wish I had you one. You know, to just treat an heavyweight like that.
Yeah.
You know, and they love it. People like that. They're not going to take.
No, Sean was laughing his arse off when he saw
These people that are at the top of the game in the acting world. They don't give a fuck. It's those that are trying to make it are the snappy little fuckers.
Yeah, take it way too serious.
Yeah.
Any comments?
Yeah. Apart from Will Smith, of course.
Come full circle
again. But I don't know with Billy Connolly when he goes, it's gonna be. I think the country's gonna explode. They'll have to do a Diana-esque sort of thing, won't they, when he dies? Well, he's the best comedian I've ever seen.
He's up there, yeah, legendary. Yeah, I still every now and then I get the urge to watch something on YouTube of his early stuff, later stuff, middle stuff.
You put that an audience with Billy Connolly on from '80s, and he's doing the incontinence pants.
All right.
Fuck me, you know, every time you sort of laughing so much you're crying.
Yeah, There's a couple of things that still get me every time. It's the Cardinal coming to visit his school, and that's just classic. And he does it in such a way that. Yeah. Some of the words, and he lets something go, and he speaks quickly over the laugh. Oh, it's genius, absolute genius.
But I were listening to it because with the audio book I was listening to, and he just goes on stage not knowing what to talk about.
Yeah.
And then he'll just pick something and off he goes.
Yeah.
And he can do that for an hour and a half, 2 hours.
Yeah. I was listening to this bit, and he's in a taxi with the theatre owner in America.
Yeah.
And they're going to the gig. And the theatre, welcome, you know, and I'm happy. And he says to his mate, so what should I do tonight? I have no idea what I'm going to do tonight. And the theatre owner just loses his mind. He has no idea what he's going to do. I think I'll start with this. Why don't you start with that one? Yeah, I'll start with this.
But yeah, you see that audience in '80s, and there's all the people at the time who were really, really famous. They're all in all these Rolling Stones are there, Status Quo, Doris Stokes.
Yeah, that man is a legend. Yeah. But yeah, he won't last long then, eh? Pamela Stevenson did make comments saying he's doing quite well again now. But
yeah. But Michael J. Fox has lasted, hasn't he?
Yeah, but he wasn't very... But he's only, what is he now, 60?
He must be. Mid-60s.
No.
Yeah.
You think?
Yeah. 15 years older than me, definitely.
No, but he was very young in that,
in
1985.
In 1985, he must have been 30 doing Back to the Future. He's just one of them fellas that looked young.
No, I'm going to pull bullshit.
He's over 10 years older than me.
Give me an age. I'll give you 5 years.
65.
65.
Yeah. Michael J. Fox is 65 years old.
I think he's under 60.
I think you're wrong. But you remember how young he looked back then? We were playing an 18...
He's 60.
Oh, we're right.
I gave you 5 years.
And I was right. So he's 9 years older than me.
Only by a couple of my... His birthday was not that long ago.
62. When's his birthday?
June.
So he's 60... So 1962. He's 9 years older than me. Yeah.
But yeah, he does have that young boyish look.
A bit like myself.
Yeah. You look like a young boy. Mad.
So after here, to all them that are listening, after here, Duncan's invited me to his house for something to eat, and my wife and 2 kids are coming. Now, I've not been invited to somebody's house with the family for something to eat in over 11 years.
Well, we all remember the reason why.
It's because they had kids. So that's my excuse. It's not to do with me being a miserable bastard. Now, the fucking wild anxiety that we've both been having about this has been off the fucking charts.
What?
Because we've not, when you've not done something in so long, and I've been saying to Sophia and Jean, don't be shy, just be normal. And I've been saying to Jean, whatever you do, don't shit in his fridge. But I've been saying it that much that he might do it now. But people just drop you like an hot potato when you've got kids. They don't want to have out to do with you. So, yeah, you don't get invited anywhere. And this is the first time in 11 years. Yeah.
We're having a dinner, mate. We're
I know.
going on a holiday together.
It's been when I told she went, yeah. All right then. And then she sat down and thought, oh fuck. It's weird. I know it's not for you, but
yeah, I see your point. With kids, everything the whole dynamics does change. Obviously, from holidaying to to a day at the beach to yeah.
But I was talking to my dad about it midweek.
Bloody hell, big thing.
No. But he was saying he had the similar experience because when my mum started going down with dementia, all the friends that they had before, good friends, just did not fucking bother anymore. Just dropped them both. So my dad was just out there floating up because I were out in the world over here and over there.
Well, I mean, there is another way of looking at that. I think some people are not sure how to behave. I said, well, maybe they want to be alone now, or maybe they'll be embarrassed if they do come with their kids. So, in my case, yeah. Actually, I still ask people, "Oh, you want to have dinner?" Especially now, I've got more space available.
Yeah.
But I do miss that because in Tokyo, because of the house size, was always so limited, and back home in Holland and in England, there's just more space available. You can. Hey, want to have a quick dinner tonight? Yeah, sure, yeah. But in Japan, the size of houses is since my first place, it's very rare to have people over for dinner or staying over.
Well, the house that I've got now, I could entertain there, and this is probably the first house you've had where you've been at.
Yeah.
Because even that flat that you had here in Kamakura before you moved there, you couldn't have had folk round there, could you?
No, I did invite some people and had the Irishman over with his missus but it was very small. Yeah, that was very rare. Yeah.
But now you've got this vast open space, haven't you?
Yeah. It's a bit of a blessing. Every day, waking up to watching the ocean. Yeah, it's nice. Yeah. So do you know what we're eating?
Well, you said shepherd's pie.
Oh shit! I told you then.
Shepherd's pie and mince pies.
Yeah.
Ice cream or custard.
Nothing.
Oh, fucking hell. I'm fucking worried. That's the fucking whole thing ruined. No custard.
No.
Have you got some cheese to have with mince pie?
No.
Oh, fuck's sake.
No. We shall just have mince pies on their own.
Well, Shima went out and bought you something.
What? Custard?
I'm not saying, I can't say.
Well, this is the thing. You did ask me this, and I realised that later, that in Japan, if you ask people for dinner, the pressure then is on them to bring something. And Darren sent me an email saying, well, the wife wants to bring something. I
Not me.
It. Yeah, I know. But I had the same with my wife. When we go, so no, we have to bring something. The guy desperately, absolutely told us not bring anything. They said it clearly. Yeah, but in Japan, that means you have to. And when I had some of the students over for a nice lunch a couple of weeks back, the rule was don't bring anything. And of course, they all brought like anything from strawberries to flowers to ridiculous.
How many students you have over?
5.
Wow.
Yeah, that was great. We had scones and had a kind of an English afternoon tea thing, and they went berserk. But yeah, so they all bought stuff at least like 6,000-7,000 yens worth of stuff. Nonsense. But after they were particularly told not to bring anything.
You've got to take some every time though over here, haven't you?
Yeah.
In England, if you go to somebody's house for a party, you take your own booze.
Yeah, but a bottle of wine is kind of standard, and as you don't drink and I don't drink at home.
But when in England, because people drink so much, if you were to start ploughing into somebody's booze, it'd soon be gone.
Well, also but you also created quite a bad atmosphere. If you start drinking someone else's booze at their house, you better have a good excuse. Okay, I'm sorry. Next time I'm going to bring this and this, and you better do that because that will not be forgotten.
I were at this house party in Halifax, Mixenden, a really rough estate in Halifax, and I'd taken a 24-pack of Stella.
Nice.
Cooled them before I got there because the fridge was full. Put them on the side. This fella walks in with a 4-pack of Kestrel. Right, fucking Kestrel. It costs about 40 pence a tin. Puts them down on the side, wanders over to where my Stella was, moves me out of the way and just starts cracking on with me. Stella, what the fuck are you doing? Mine are over there. Fucking eat, have your kestrel first, you tight bastard.
Yeah.
Cheeky fuckers.
Yeah, that will happen as well. Yeah, at parties. Someone who's brought the packet of wine. Now these days, packets of wine are quite nice. You can get nice packets of wine.
A bag of wine.
Yeah, back in the day, a box of wine was rubbish.
A bag of wine is
homeless stuff.
Is perfect for a festival.
Yeah, or homeless people.
Put it inside. Put 2 3 litre bags of wine in your inside pockets, and that's you for the day. And if the security pull you, just say it's your colostomy bag.
You want to see my colostomy bag?
Yeah. Right, so if we pack this shit up and we'll get off to your house then.
Yeah. Let's slowly mosey on out of here.
And I've got my shorts on, I've got my t-shirt on, and 10 days ago, it were awful, wasn't it?
It was pretty rough. I mean, it's still 20 degrees now. We're over 6 o'clock. Amsterdam is 9 degrees. That's the peaked.
On about the weather, after all these years, because you're from Amsterdam and I'm from Bradford, do you still appreciate a sunny day?
Here?
Anywhere you go.
Certainly.
I never wake up in the morning and it's a sunny day and go, ugh. Because when I was a kid, you'd open those curtains and you didn't know what we were going to greet you. You'd open them and it's grey sky and your windows full of rain. Fucking hell.
That is my memory of weather in Holland. And it isn't really. I mean, reality, there's a lot of nice days as well, but mainly the roughness stays with you.
Yeah.
So yeah, in Japan, the amount of sunshine you get, well, in this part, I mean, in the Tokyo region.
Miyazaki is supposed to be the sunniest prefecture in Kyushu, yeah. Miyazaki's...
Well, that's a very beautiful place. I had a student who came back, showed me some pictures, and it looked like Hawaii, with white beaches and all that.
But there's fuck all to do there. You couldn't make a crust down there.
Make a what?
Couldn't make a crust. The average salary is 70,000 a month.
What?
Yeah. 70,000 a month.
Oh, rent must be cheap.
I were teaching a fella who worked for Lehman Brothers, a young graduate who worked for Lehman Brothers. It was 15 years ago. So there were 2 brothers, and the parents had this orange orchard, orangery, whatever it was. Anyway, they said, right, they didn't fucking consult the kids. The mum and dad just went, he's taking over this. We'll put all his money into this one. So they give him the fantastic education. You're taking over the orangery. And his parents were paying him 70 grand a month.
Well,
and he's working with, I think, with Lehman Brothers.
Yeah, but that's quite an exceptional case. You're not talking about an average case.
No.
I don't believe the average salary in Miyazaki is 70 grand. That would be like 20% of the... Roughly,
but the rents and everything are cheaper down there. Yeah. You can get a decent 3-bedroom house at 20 grand a month.
What?
Yeah. My friend Colin was working in Ehime in Shikoku.
Yeah, nice.
And we're living above a shop with a 2-bedroom apartment for 35.
Well, how many years ago is this? Like 50 years ago?
5 years ago. Well, I was living here. Once
Wow.
you get away from Tokyo, it's cheap as chips.
Ah. Well, that's about 80% off.
But your salary's the same.
Yeah, but what if you work online, though? I mean, that's suddenly was quite interesting. Well, on that bombshell.
Anyway, we'll see you when Duncan's got time, because he's as busy as fuck.
Right? Yeah, this is my peak working time. I've never worked this hard in my life. How many hours a week do you reckon you're doing?
50, 60.
Okay, I'm 65.
Yeah. Well, maybe 50, 55.
Yeah.
But half of that's for myself, which makes me so happy.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, same here.
I want it to be all for myself, but...
Plus, I'm a little bit on that gravy train. When the holidays start, I get a lot of time off. Yeah.
Anyway, all right then.
All right, have a great day, everybody. Enjoy this wonderful weather wherever you are.
Enjoy the snow.
Stay safe.